Alrighty, it is Friday, January 29th, and here's what your assignment's going to be. You see, on Tuesday, you're taking a mock STAR test. You're going to write an essay for STAR, and I want you to be ready. You just need to know what to do, because you can do it when you know what to do. So you can read this, but think about ThinkCirca. You know, I had y'all give me that Mount Taylor essay, and a lot of you in ThinkCirca have only been writing one paragraph answers. Long paragraphs, medium paragraphs, but not multi-paragraph essays. That's not your fault. That's just kind of the way ThinkCirca is. It doesn't really get into writing multi-paragraph essays. But it does give you the stuff you need in order to do that. Now we're just going to talk about the introduction right now. You know how you start off with this connect question? That's to get you to start thinking about what the article you're reading is going to be about. You can use that connect idea, condense it down to 2 sentences, and it becomes the hook of your essay for ThinkCirca. It gets your reader thinking about what you're going to be writing about and what they're going to be reading about. Then you need to transition from that hook to your claim, and ThinkCirca has you write out a summary of what you read. That makes a great transition. Again, you keep it down to a sentence or 2, and then you go to your claim, which of course is the answer to the question with your subject, your opinion, and because. And those are where you put your reasons. The government should not mine for uranium on Mount Taylor because it's a holy site, an important site, a revered site to the indigenous people, to the Navajo tribe, and the mining of uranium is bad for the environment. Then when you write your body, you got 2 paragraphs where you give evidence to support the idea that this mountain is important to the Navajo people. Then you write another paragraph with evidence from the text where you explain how bad it is for the environment. And then you write your conclusion, and we're not going to talk about the counter argument right now because that's not part of a STAR essay. But STAR does the same thing as far as helping you get ready. At the beginning, it'll give you a quote or a scenario to read. And that's to get you to start thinking about what you're going to be writing about. And you can use that thing, that read about, I call it the read about, let's say read this quote. You can use that in your introduction to get your reader to start thinking about what he or she is going to be reading, what you're going to be writing about. Then STAR gives you says, think about the following question. Well, that you can use as your transition because it's focusing your thoughts more closely to what they're about to ask you to do. And of course, then they give you a prompt and you write a thesis answering that prompt. Let me show you a couple of examples because the key important thing here between any text-based question, whether it's in StudySync or ThinkCirca, see, StudySync and ThinkCirca, they ask you a question, you refer to your text. But in STAR, you've got to get your examples, your evidence from somewhere else. So let me show you. Click right here. This is where we get the acronym HELPS. HELPS really helps. On this page, I've included the outline and this that you've seen before. And then I've taken down to what HELPS actually means. It's an acronym. The H stands for history. The E stands for experiences. They could be your experiences, but the STAR graders really like it if you write about someone else's experiences. Literature could include poetry, stories that you've read, pop culture, anything that's going on in the world right now, science and sports. And this is where your cleverness comes in, because you've got to think, if I'm trying to support my argument, what evidence can I get from these categories? Let me show you an example. There was a star prompt from a long time ago that began like this. Read the following quotation. A famous businessman once said, "Players win games, teams win championships." Think carefully about the following statement. Sometimes you can accomplish good things by yourself, but better things with other people. And finally, write an essay explaining whether it's better to work by yourself or with a group. So here's an example. Now, remember when we looked at the STAR portal, you get 1,750 characters. That's 350 words. This essay is 1,465 characters, which is about 325 words. So if you can do it like this, you're good. What I want you to look at is how my introduction uses those three things, the read, the think, and the write, and how my body paragraphs use examples as evidence from other places. A famous businessman once said that players win games and teams win championships. He was right. Though an individual can often accomplish good things by himself, a group of people working together can often do bigger and better things. Working in a group is better than working alone because the job will get done more quickly, and a group of people can come up with better ideas than just one person can. A task can often be completed more quickly when individuals work together as a group. In the novel, When We Were Lost, a group of high school students survive a plane crash in the jungle but don't know where they are. Working together, they are able to survive the wilderness and its snakes, jaguars, and drug dealers. They learn that only by working together could they survive. A group can also come up with more ideas through brainstorming than an individual can. In 1970, the crew of Apollo 13 found themselves in a great deal of trouble when one of their oxygen tanks failed. Luckily, through the combined efforts of the astronauts in the capsule and a crew of scientists and engineers, including Mr. Skipper's father, in Houston, they were able to come up with a solution to fix the tank using the materials that were on board the spaceship. Without that teamwork, the astronauts would have run out of oxygen before they could have returned to Earth. Not everyone likes to work in a group, but when you need to get a job done quickly or need ideas, sometimes it's the best way to go. Tony learned this when he and his friends crashed in the jungle, as did the NASA scientists. So when you're assigned to a group project, at school or at your workplace, don't be too quick to say you'd rather work by yourself. You might find that's not as bad as you thought it would be. Here are some thoughts about this. Some people say that what you ought to do is, instead of having two small paragraphs, have one big paragraph in the middle. So taking that Tony thing, I could have gone into more detail, though, When We Were Lost, more details, more elaboration about how Tony learned from working on a team rather than trying to do things by himself. So if you can only come up with one idea to support, that's okay. Just make it a longer paragraph with more details, more explanation, more elaboration. Here's another example, which was written by a student, but is actually too long. The prompt for it was, write an essay explaining the best way to learn new things. Y'all remember that? It was on your December semester exam. The best way to learn new things is to try new things. Breaking out of your comfort zone and exploring the new that's out there can expand your mindset and teach you new lessons. It's important to explore what you can do by trying something different. You may feel nervous and fear what the outcome may be, but that's how you learn new things in life. In elementary school, I was a part of the National Honor Society, and there was going to be a debate on who would be the president. I was very excited because I've always wanted to try and lead a society at my school, so I gave it a shot. I wrote my essay explaining why I would be a great NHS president and turned it in. I was very nervous because I didn't know if I would win the debate. I'd never run for president for any club, so there was a lot of fear when waiting for the ballots to be counted. But through the whole experience, I was very happy that I tried something new, that I didn't hesitate to break out of my comfort zone. So as the votes were finally done being counted, they put out who won, and they announced my name. I was so happy I couldn't believe it. I was now the president of the National Honor Society, and because I tried something new, I learned the possibilities are endless. In the 2017 award-winning film Wonder, it is about a 10-year-old boy named Augie who tries to go to school for the first time. Augie is born with Treacher-Collins syndrome, a disease that allows him to have facial differences which have prevented him from going to school. So to hide his face, Augie would wear an astronaut helmet so no one could see him. When Augie started attending school, he felt very nervous and wondered what people would think of him. He felt separated from other kids and would always hide behind an astronaut helmet until he started to make friends. Because he was going to school, he met other people that wanted a change and wanted new people to hang out with. So Augie came out of his comfort zone and started hanging out with others who cared about him. And believe it or not, Augie had a lot of friends. He became more confident in himself. And because he tried something new by attending school, Augie learned not to hide, but to be you. Learning new things is important and will teach you life lessons that will guide you. But in order to learn, you must try and see what you can accomplish by exploring new differences. Had this person had a character counter going on, they would have seen, I need to trim some stuff out. And they would have cut it down nice, and it would have been turned out to be a good essay. It is a good essay. So this is going to be your assignment. Back on the previous page, right down there is going to be your assignment on Friday. It's not there right now. But it will, oh, well, I guess it is there now, isn't it? Because now is not now anymore. Now is now. Because now is back there. I don't know. This is time travel. It'll be there now. Now it's there. But now it's not there. But it will be there. In fact, it is there. Now, but not now. See what I mean? Very confusing. You're going to do a great job. You're going to write this on Friday. And over the weekend, I'll let you know how you did and where you need to improve. So do a great job. And I'll see you when I see you.